Hello, I'm Michelle, the founder and head witch in charge at Holisticism, and today I'm going to answer a question that I get asked a lot from service based entrepreneurs. A service based entrepreneur is your typical wellness practitioner, someone who offers a service in exchange for cash money. So if you are a breathwork teacher, a yoga instructor, a copywriter, a therapist, a nutritionist, you're a service based entrepreneur. And this question answer is for you. So let's dive into it. I get asked this question often, and I have lots of opinions about it and lots of feelings. So, how do you charge your worth, quote unquote worth, but also make your services equitable? This is a great question because pricing is really complicated. And how do we do it? And how do we do it well? We're often told to sort of differing opinions. We're told that we need to make our work really accessible, we need to make it really affordable, we should give things away for free. After all, if you're a healer or a helper, then you have to share what you have with the world, and you cannot ask for people to pay you. And we're also told that if you don't charge enough for your offerings, you actually have low self-worth, and that's a problem because you're never going to get what you want out in the world. So make sure that you're boosting your prices, because if you don't keep raising your prices, then you actually have really low self-worth. I'm happy to say that neither of these narratives are correct. So great. And I'm going to talk about why they're wrong over the next couple minutes. Honestly, you're probably not going to agree with everything I say. That's totally fine. Take what works for you and throw away the rest. But the first question that is often sort of goes through a wellness practitioner's mind, or I don't know, service-based practitioner's mind, is, well, why do I even need to make money? Do I need to make money? Do I deserve to make money? How do I justify making lots of money when what I'm here to do is help people? That's complicated, and that is a personal journey that you're going to have to take, my friend. But here's my opinion. Oh my God, yes, we need to be paying wellness practitioners and service-based practitioners for what they do, especially in the hellfire, garbage fire, hellscape that is 2020. Oh, we got it. We got to keep you around. Because if you are not resourced, then you're going to burn out. And resource looks like financial resource. It looks like emotional resource, so having people who support you emotionally. It looks like spiritual resource. It looks like material resource, having a roof over your head, having a home that you belong to. And unfortunately, those things are not a given because we live in a, say it with me, patriarchal capitalist structure. Exactly. And those things, most people's needs are not met. And that sucks ass. So we need to work, obviously, together to change that. And that is the society and structure that we live in right now. And in order for us to change things on a global scale, on a massive level, we kind of need to play in this world and make sure that we don't burn out, make sure that we have longevity. Because our other option is to sort of just tap out and be like deuces from regular society and go live on top of a mountain and I don't know, barter and not have Wi-Fi and just totally abstain from culture. And while that could be really effective for you and maybe your mental health, it does not help you make your work more accessible. It does not help you make your work more inclusive. It does not help you make your work more equitable, because it makes you even more difficult to reach. So if we want to play in accessibility and help as many people as we can, then we have to work within the confines of this world that we were born into. And that doesn't mean that we can't change it. It just means that we gotta make sure that we last long enough to create real change. And the real change that we can create starts in our own businesses and how we set up our own businesses, which is kind of cool. So if you're getting a hint of depression like I was about that, then don't worry. As long as you stick around, it's all good. And here's a cuddly cat because they're so cute. And this is you. We need to take care of you. We need to make sure that you got your needs met. Because if you don't get your needs met, then you're just going to burn out. If you don't have time to rest, if you are constantly looking for your next paycheck and you feel unsure and unsafe of being able to resource yourself, You can't do your job, and you certainly can't do it well, and you certainly can't do it for a long time. And if you burn out, then you're stealing your gift and you're stealing the opportunity to work with you and to be healed by you or to be healed with you from hundreds and thousands of people. So don't do that. Don't burn out. Make sure that you get paid because we need you. We really need you. We need you now more than ever to do the work that you're here to do. So how do we do this? How do we create pricing? How do we get paid and also make our work accessible and inclusive? There's lots of different ways to do that, but let's talk specifically around pricing equity. So first step is working backwards. So I need you to decide however much money it is that you need in order to exist in this world and feel resourced. That could be 50 grand, it could be 75K, it could be 100 grand, it could be $5 million. Whatever that number is for you, please figure it out. And this is what you need to pay your rent, to buy the groceries that you need, to afford the things that help you do your work, whether those are tools or, I don't know, helpers, consultants, and also for you to rest. So you need to take vacation. You need to have weekends off. You maybe even need to have a day off in the middle of the week. And you definitely are not going to be working from 7 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. You need rest. So what does that look like for you? How much money are you going to need to be able to build that into your life? Because, oh, by the way, when you build rest into your life and you're not working all the time, that's like a double bird to patriarchy. So we definitely want to build rest into our job. And then I want you to take that number that you have so lovingly created and break it down into what you're going to need every single month. So let's say you are like 100 grand. That's my number. The 6 figures is where it's at. Fabulous. That means you're going to need to make around 8 grand a month. So that makes that 100 grand, that 6-figure number, so much more doable. So start to think month over month over month. What is it? What's that salary that you're going to be paying yourself every month? And when you do that, you can start to, kind of feels like this, you can start to break down what it is that your services need to look like. So what pricing structure do you need to create? You know, if you're charging 8 grand a month, if that's what you need to bring in, you could have one client, right? Who you're charging 8 grand. Awesome. Then you can give away all of your stuff for free to everybody else. Fabulous. Or maybe you work with 4 people and you charge each of them 2 grand. And then you say that you want to work with 100 people for free. Or maybe you want to work with 80 people who all you charge $100. Awesome. You get to do whatever the fuck you want to do, dude. It's your business and your work. But once we figure out we build the foundation of the house, right? That's what figuring out what the number is that you need in order to feel resourced. We can start to work backwards from there and create these different permutations of what our business could look like. And when you start modeling it out, a la our queen Rihanna, you can actually figure out what types of equity you want to build into your business. Because listen, there's not one way to do it, and I'm certainly not the expert, but I've tried a lot of different things. And you can create sliding scale in all of your offerings, right? You could offer, honestly, self-selecting sliding scale from $0 to $500. Or maybe that doesn't actually work for your business so well. Because maybe what you do is work with people for 3 months at a time at a really hands-on rate. And you need to get paid a minimum of 3 grand in order to get your needs met and to make sure that you're getting taken care of. Guess what? That type of offering is not for everyone. First and foremost, not everyone can pay 3 grand, and that's okay. And not everyone has the time to work one-on-one so closely with a practitioner or the desire. So you're going to need to figure out what your sort of worldview around equity is and what feels good to you and where you can start. What can you do? How can you start to build that into your services and into your business? How can you start to think about it? Don't forget that a huge way that we can create more equitable offerings is by making free content. Free content is that's why we make so much of it at Holisticism, because you don't have to buy into it. You get access to it for as long as you want. And hopefully you take what you've learned out of our free content and you're able to scale it into something that's really accessible and profitable for your business. And then in the future, if we want to work together, fabulous. You've taken what I've already taught you and you've learned how to make maybe more money or create more safety or to build a business. And maybe then we can work together in a different way. But creating free content, whether it's a blog post or an email list or a podcast, that is so equitable. You also can create different tiers of offerings. So you can have that $3,000 super, white glove experience, but you could also create more of a hands-off experience that doesn't require so much of you, so much of your energy, and is much, much, much more affordable, right? So there's lots of different ways to create equity in your pricing structure. And I would say before you do anything, ask your community what they need. Ask them where they need you to be more equitable. Ask them what feels fair and what feels like way too much in terms of pricing. And you don't have to, live and die by what your community says, but take it into account. Remember, fall in love with the problem that your community tells you, that your customer tells you, that you're trying to solve, not the solution that you create for their problem. So give yourself some spaciousness to be wrong and to try different things, to maybe build sliding scale into your business and then decide, actually, this is not helping me not burn out, and it's not helping me, scale my services to more people. So I got to go back to the drawing board and figure out something else. There are a million ways to do this, and you are a genius. So I'm sure that you're going to find one that works well for you and your business. Finally, that brings me to this comment. Remember, the price of your services does not determine your worth. Period. End of story. They don't. Remember, you could drop a little negative information on someone in a session or in an Instagram story that could absolutely change their life. That's invaluable. Now, because you didn't charge for it, does that make you worth nothing? Does that make you worthless? Absolutely not. Do not conflate what people pay for your services or for your product with your actual personal worth. So many people do this as a sort of, shortcut into creating higher self-worth by raising their prices and saying, well, if I raise my prices, then I'll raise my self-worth. When actually, they have nothing to do with each other. I can charge $9 for a product. I still know I'm really fucking valuable. It's all good. So, yes, your time and energy is important and it's valuable. And what you charge for what you do is absolutely not an example of your value in the world. It's just a price tag. So, to recap, remember that you need to get your needs met as a service-based entrepreneur. You need to make sure that you have time to rest and that you can pay your bills, because your longevity is really important. Your ability to stay here and do what you do and help people is massively important. And once you figure out what you need, you can understand where you have flexibility to create equity and inclusivity and accessibility in your work. Because once you've got that framework, oh my God, now you know what you need to do. And then that's when you get to play. So that's all I have to say. I hope that's helpful and useful to you. I'd love to hear your opinions. Strong opinions, or come at me with them. I love to hear it. And if you like this type of information, fabulous. Sign up for our newsletter at Holisticism, or follow us on Instagram. And if you're a service-based practitioner and you're like, I need more pricing like this in my life, I got you covered. We have an entire module on creating pricing that feels aligned and psychic and intuitive and also equitable in the Infinite Well Accelerator, which is our program that we created for service-based entrepreneurs. It goes live in just a couple weeks, and the best way to find out about it is to get on our email list or to follow us on IG. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you and see you on the internet. Bye.